Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another reaction. Per request, we're going to be reacting to the day that Larry Bird became the best rebounder in the league. As we can see from these reactions, these videos that we watch, Larry Bird is one of his kind and, of course, the best all-around player in NBA history. But I can also say that he can emphatically be the GOAT himself. I mean, MJ said it himself. Larry's the GOAT. So, I mean, come on. All right, let's find out what's going on.
What you're about to hear sounds impossible. Larry Bird, a small forward, grabs 21 rebounds in Game 1 of the 1981 NBA Finals versus Moses Malone, the most dominant rebounding center of a generation.
Larry Bird with a rebound. Oh, is it physical? Bird again. That was the key play of the game right there. The Boston Celtics have won it 98-95. The Miller Highlight Most Valuable Player Award will go to Larry Bird. Bird coming up with 18 points, 21 rebounds in this game.
Now you might think this was a fluke. However, just 2 days later, Larry Bird comes out in Game 2 and does it again. Grabs another 21 rebounds on top of 19 points and 5 steals. And somewhere in the middle of all that, pulls off a sequence so special that it was almost better than his left-handed putback layup in Game 1 that Red Auerbach called the greatest play he'd ever seen.
47-41, very good point. Henderson broken up. There's Bird again. Larry Bird with a steal. Henderson
Behind the back. Oh, my gosh.
Look at this crowd.
Wow.
They've seen so many great plays, but they still appreciate number 33. Larry Bird was 10th in the NBA in steals. He came up with a steal, and you saw how he completed the play. He comes up with an unbelievable play each game. I don't know if you saw Game 1, but it was one of the best in the history of this game.
The highlight ends in a reverse layup, but the story begins with a steal. May 7th, 1981, the Boston Garden. And Larry Bird is about to remind everyone that genius doesn't always look the way you expect.
Well, Houston will have to control the backboards. They will have to out-rebound the Celtics because the Celtics want to run. And the only way you stop a team from running is control the boards. That means you got to control so that they don't get second and third shots, but on the offensive board that they get no clear rebound so they can get that first pass out to get the fast break started.
Boston Celtics, Robert Parrish, trying to hit his third in a row. There's Bird inside. The basket by Larry.
Bro, you can't teach hustle. And you can't teach effort. It's either you have it, it's either if it's within you or not. Because number one, 20 back-to-back rebound games, and the NBA is not easy, especially if you're going against other big boys. So, dang, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Bird, he's had possession in the entire series inside.
Well, he snuck inside Robert Reed that time and had the beautiful position, and he's really been something on the boards. I have to say that. He's really surprised and impressed me with his rebounding this whole season.
Something that's super underrated is his positioning. I don't know how to describe it, but he just knows how to box someone out. I don't know if he could feel the person's, the opposing player's body, like which angles to take. That's crazy. It is exactly genius because he knows where to be and what spots to be at in order to get either defensive rebounds or offensive rebound, which is important in basketball.
Tempo is probably important to both ball clubs. Houston would like to stay in a half-court game a little bit more than most clubs, and we'd like to run a little bit more than most clubs. But often the team that wins is a team that can do well with their weaknesses, not necessarily their strengths.
Against Archibald, rebound. There's Bird again. He had 21 rebounds in the first game. On to Archibald. Archibald, who can penetrate. And that was a great play. Malone intimidated by Parrish with the air ball. Here's Bird to Robert Parrish. Parrish to the mismatch.
Wow.
That's 8 straight points that Boston has run off as Houston calls a timeout.
Larry Bird already with 5 rebounds in this game.
Well, I think my job in this series is just go out and play my game, play my typical game, get some assists, really hit the boards well, and score not a lot of points, but enough to keep our team going. Because I know when we go down in the final minutes of the game, they're going to bring the ball to me no matter if we're up or down. I know I got a talent and a lot of people don't have, and I just try to go out and do my best for the fans.
Larry Bird, Calvin Garrett staying tough on him.
Ooh-wee. Cooking.
Larry Bird with 6 points. 4 seconds. 3-pointer by Ford. Bird follows.
The tip,
Bird and Lowe.
bro. Come on, man. Even tip-ins. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy, man. In order to end a defensive position, you got to get the defensive rebound. You cannot give the opposing team the offensive rebound. Then you got to reset another 24 seconds on the shot clock. And, you know, you got to have stamina to play basketball, because if you don't secure that defensive position with that rebound, bro, you're going to be exhausted by the time you make it either on the offensive end or by the time you make it third, fourth quarter, when you really need those legs. So, it's impressive. And then also on the offensive end, man, being able to get second chance points, being able to get an offensive rebound to give your team a chance to score after a missed possession, bro, that's crazy.
They were there. I don't know who they're going to give it to, but it will count. Both men were up. Follow tipping on that play. The basket will count. It's a 4-point lead after the
That was
first 12
actually
minutes of play.
they both tipped it in.
Well, you know, they get out and run. We got to stop their running game. We got to play tough defense, and we got to be tough man. And when we got to play against the Boston Celtics.
Midway through the second quarter, as Houston tries to set up a play, nothing fancy, just a safe pass in the post to calm things down. Bird reads it immediately. He steps in, takes the ball clean, and as Bird starts the fast break, he flicks the ball behind his back to Gerald Henderson with no hesitation. The Garden is already going crazy because that pass alone is highlight reel material. Behind the back in transition, threaded between two defenders, dropped perfectly in Henderson's hands. Bird keeps running, circles back into the play, gets the ball back, and slides under the rim for the reverse finish with the left hand. The crowd loses its mind.
47-41. Very good point. Henderson broken up. There's Bird again. Larry Bird with a steal.
How can we not? The evidence is in front of us. I'm speaking and to the people that still doubt Larry Bird, that still don't believe he's athletic, that he could score whenever he wants, right? But he's an unselfish player. He rebounds and out-hustle you. He can pass the ball extremely well. Plays defense. His defense is whoa. Okay, his defense is there. He has everything, right? So I don't think there was any, the mentality he has also, the leadership he has. I don't see any weaknesses, man. I don't see any weaknesses, guys. Bro, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy to be seeing this.
Henderson back to Bird. Beautiful. Look at this crowd. They've seen so many great plays, but they still appreciate number 33.
Look at it right here. He anticipates beautifully, steals the ball from Paul, keeps it alive, makes the pass to Henderson behind the back. Now look at Henderson. He draws the defense. A beautiful bounce pass. Bird has trouble with the ball. Finally gets it back and makes a reverse left-handed layup. Super play.
Larry Bird never looked like a lockdown defender. That's why people underestimate exactly what he was. But that entire sequence started on defense. It always did with Bird. He didn't erase shots at the rim. He erased options. He took away your first read. He disrupted timing, and he jumped passing lanes, turning defense into instant offense.
Let's go.
Right now they're running again, Bill. Henderson on the ball tipper.
That's what
Larry
I'm
Bird
talking
finished
about.
Game 2 with 5 steals. That number doesn't happen by accident. It happens because someone understands timing better than the person with the ball. One steal turns into another possession. Another possession turns into momentum that Boston desperately needs. And one of those steals turns into the play that everyone remembers. 5 steals in an NBA Finals game is dominance. Quiet defensive dominance. And if you watch closely, Bird is everywhere. He's helping on Moses in the paint. He's switching on to guards, staying in front of him, forcing them baseline. And when Moses got the
Oh,
ball,
look at that. Help defense, man. Robert Parrish, man, that's what's up. Oh, genius timing, hand-eye coordination. I've heard that multiple times in previous videos. Man, dang, he could do it all, man. If it's not basketball, it would have been football. If it's not football, it would have been baseball. If it's not baseball, it would have been hockey. If it's not hockey, it would have tennis. I'll even watch Larry Bird play tennis. That's crazy.
Bird was either the primary defender or the first one to help, making Moses feel bodies everywhere he turned.
Off it comes to Moses Malone. You can see the difficulty he's having. Tell you, that's got to be frustrating for Moses. He has people picking away at him in there.
That defensive intelligence is the reason he rebounded the way he did. Because defense and rebounding are...
This is the defense right here that we're witnessing. This is the actual defense that we're watching that was played back in these times. Nowadays, you don't see defense played like this. All them ticky-tack fouls, them refs are ready to blow the whistle.
Defensive intelligence is the reason he rebounded the way he did. Because defense and rebounding are connected. Bird understood that instinctively. When you disrupt rhythm, shots change, angles change, bounces change. And that is the part that people miss when they talk about rebounding like it's an athletic contest. Because on this night, it was a thinking contest, and Bird was winning it.
6-point lead. Tom Henderson trying to cut it to 4. Larry Bird, he's fouled by Calvin Garrett. It'll be a loose ball foul.
What Larry Bird did was once he got the hand in there, he put his body in to protect the ball. And you watch where he put his body right in between the defense, the other guy, and the ball. That's to make sure that you either get the ball or a foul.
That's when you realize that Bird is operating on a different level of understanding. By halftime, Larry Bird already had 8 rebounds, while Moses Malone had 7.
To me, the man is a very smart player. He's thinking the whole time once he's on the floor. He's not very fast, so he has to use his mind and try and outthink you.
4. Bird.
Right over you.
Take that.
Right over
It can be
you.
very frustrating because you can do a good defensive job on Larry for maybe 75, 80, 90% of the game even. And yet every time you make a mistake, every time you fail to concentrate and let up, Larry will find a way to hurt you. Maybe with rebounding, maybe with passing, maybe a steal, it may be a hoop, maybe a drive, maybe a dish off, but he'll find a way to hurt you.
And that comes to shows when a player can change the flow. No, can I say no? I'm not even gonna say change. When a player can control the flow of the game based on what they want to do. Meaning, if they see that the team is struggling to score, they'll score. If they see that the team is struggling to rebound, they'll take the initiative to rebound themselves and also get teammates involved. Because imagine if he's getting double teamed, he got to get his teammates involved in order for them to alleviate the defense that's being played on him. Oh, that's just pure straight genius right there when he played a game of basketball.
Maxwell, there's a steal attempt by Moses Malone. Bird.
Give and go.
Bird and Henderson. Give and go. That's the old give and go play. Henderson to Larry Bird. Bird now is really starting to get the hot hand. I can't say enough for Henderson. There's the rebound leader, 17. Larry Bird also now has 19 points in the game.
In the second half, the Rockets were getting frustrated. Their entire defensive strategy was built around limiting Boston's transition game.
Bird, Robert Reed. He needs that confidence builder. That's not going to help him. That's too far out on that shot.
Oh, look at that pass. Look at man.
The Rockets tried everything. They sent multiple bodies at Bird to keep him off the glass. Didn't matter. Bird would position himself early, seal his man, and time his jump perfectly. He turned rebounding into a chess match. While Moses relied on athleticism and tenacity, Bird relied on positioning and anticipation. Both methods...
Guys, brains over brawn every single time. Brains over brawn. Larry Bird and the Celtics, they're affecting... they're making it frustrating for Houston, which is definitely funny as heck because Imagine you had a game plan. You strictly had a game plan for it. All of a sudden, you got one player that you're trying to, disrupt them, try to play defense, tight defense on him. But he figures out a way to either affect it in different areas, rebounding, passing. Bro, that's crazy.
Both methods worked, but on this night, and the best rebounder on the floor was a second-year small forward from French Lick, Indiana.
Larry Bird. Gerald Henderson. Oh, that's wrong. That was set up by the outlet pass Larry Bird made to Gerald Henderson.
Larry Bird finished his career averaging 10 rebounds per game. For a small forward, only Bird and Elgin Baylor are in that elite territory. But when you stack the history of all the small forwards who could rebound, Bird stands apart because he did it when the game got tight. He did it when the bodies piled up, and he did it in the NBA Finals when the game demanded something a little less glamorous than scoring, even when Boston lost.
Moses Malone. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Whoa, he just got that shot off. Larry Bird, who seems to come up with a big plays, comes up with the ball. And now the Celtics have asked for a timeout. We have 11 seconds left in the game, and we now got to figure that Boston looking to send this into overtime unless they get an unbelievable three-point play.
Ever since I've been in college or in pros, the ball has always came to me. They always want me to do the final shooting or try to hit the last second shot. They go to me 80 or 90% of the time. I want the ball because I'm supposed to produce them situations. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, but I want the ball in a crucial situation.
Here we go.
Excellent answer. Excellent. Couldn't have said it in any better way. This is beautiful to watch.
In regulation. You see the time. Archibald, Larry Bird, back to Tiny. And the Houston Rockets have evened it up.
Dang.
Rockets have broken a 14-game losing streak to the Boston Celtics. They even up this best-of-7 series with a 92-90 win. And I am really impressed the way Houston stayed in this one.
Boston didn't win Game 2, but it's one of the clearest windows into who Larry Bird really was, a defender who saw passes before they were thrown.
Broken. There's Bird again. Larry Bird with a steal. Henderson back to Bird. Beautiful.
A rebounder who beat centers without jumping higher than them.
He's third in a row. There's Bird inside. The basket by Larry Bird. He's had possession in the entire series inside.
A star who could control a finals game without ever forcing it.
I think Larry Bird can beat you even if he doesn't score a point on the basketball court.
The scoreboard says Houston figured something out, but Larry Bird did too. He learned how Houston wanted to slow him down and how physical the series was willing to get. But most importantly, he proved something that would define his career. He proved that he didn't need the game to look a certain way to control it. If it turned into a shootout, he could score. If it turned into a wrestling match, he could get down and dirty with the best of them. Moses Malone ended the game with 15 rebounds, but Larry Bird ended the game with 21. That's 21 rebounds in Game 1 and 21 rebounds in Game 2. Back-to-back performances against the team that featured the quote-unquote league's best rebounder. That's not a fluke. That's a statement. And if you really want to understand Larry Bird, outside of being the greatest shooter of all time, outside of being the greatest trash talker of all time, but as a competitor who could bend a series without lighting up the scoreboard, this is the game. The night Larry Bird went to war on the glass against Moses Malone and conquered territory that everyone said belonged to someone else.
I think Larry Bird can beat you.
Imagine going against the league's best rebounder. I know if you're that type of player, if you're that type of person that takes challenges personally, I'm pretty sure Larry Bird was looking at stats and, things of that sort before the NBA Finals. Of course, because in the other videos that he would find challenges during when he would get bored, quote unquote. When he'll get bored, he'll find challenges and certain things to do. I felt like this was another way of he's finding a challenge within the NBA Finals. Moses Malone is a top rebounder. Okay. Yeah, he's muscular. He's strong. But brains, man, genius, and effort too. Larry Bird looked like he want to outwork you, and and he said it best, man. Shout out to Prime Larry Bird YouTube channel. If it's a shootout, he's gonna score. If it gets tight, defenses, double teaming him, he's gonna find the open man. Wow, this is genius. Genius. You check out the comments. Ha! Bird still the word in 2026. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. Generations and generations from now, Larry Bird is still going to be talked about, and I would just hope that high schools and no, not even high schools, show kids when they're growing up, if they want to play the game of basketball, show them clips of Larry Bird, because man, I don't even know what word to even put, because he could score, he could do everything. And that's the great thing to have when you're a basketball player. You don't want to be one dimensional, because if they try to stop your scoring, you can affect the game with rebounding and finding your teammates, making them better. Like Larry Bird, man. That's crazy. Remember when they were saying that he couldn't jump, like he couldn't run and all that stuff? And now he's out hustling people. He's being the best rebounder. Bro, that's crazy, man. If you can't jump and you can't run, then how are you getting 20 plus rebounds a game? That's crazy. Very crazy. Steal, then behind the back pass, then the reverse layup for 2 points, all in the same sequence. Whoever said that Larry Bird was unathletic doesn't know what they're talking about. Facts. Big time facts. And we got this one right here. They said my man Bird couldn't run or jump. For real. This one right here is big time facts right here. He's a unicorn and a true GOAT. He was very, very, very unique. And that's very, very good. Hey, that's what's up, man. That is good. He said he loved to bang the boards with the best. That's the thing. That's the mentality. You wanted to go against the best. If your opposing team and you're guarding that player, and that player is the best rebounder, wouldn't you want to have that challenge, personal challenge? Like, yeah, I'm gonna out rebound this person tonight, take it personal, man. That's crazy, man. Let me see what's this. I can't watch an entire game today. I have to come back and see this to play basketball. I see. That's an absolute fact right there. That is an absolute fact. Hey, that is 100% facts. You can't. When I realized my decline in watching basketball after 2014, 2015 NBA, I prefer to watch college. I prefer to watch college than the NBA. Let me know down below what you think about that. Do you do the same thing? Do you watch college basketball? Because it's crazy. It makes, I know everybody else does it too, because you guys go on YouTube, watch the old games, watch your old, your old teams, NBA legends that you grew up on. Oh, man. And it was said in this video too, that rebounding is not only about, muscles, positioning and stuff. Larry Bird and angles, man. Angles and effort. You can't teach that right here. Rebounding is position and desire. How bad do you want it? And you know how rebounding is important in basketball. If you're on the defensive side, you got to make sure you secure that defensive rebound. If you allow the team to get a second opportunity to score, they may score. It's a 50-50. Then if you miss it, the defensive rebound again, it gives them another chance. So you got to secure that rebound. Same thing offensively. If you missed scoring in that possession, you get the offensive rebound, you get another opportunity to score. Man, this is absolutely... Guys, let me know down in the comment section your thoughts about this video. Of course, Larry Bird rebounding, Larry Bird versus Moses Malone. Man, this is enjoyable. Thank you guys for the recommendations too. Every single one of you guys that have sent suggestions and recommendations, shout out to you. Okay, all right, Peace out. I'll catch you guys on the next one.